So guys, welcome to this. Now if you want to find out how we went from here to here and now here, stay tuned to see where it ends up. A little bit about this little car that we're going to introduce to the channel. So this is a, what is it, 2003 little Jimny, 1.3 engine in it. It is automatic, selectable four-wheel drive, and what we're going to do to it is a pickup conversion. Cracking on, cutting out rust, and what do I spy? Look at my little friend. So, very simply, we're going to cut it in half, weld the new tray and everything onto the back with some sides that fold down, a tailgate, etc, etc. And it will then be used for largely for farm truck vehicles or off-road shoots and stuff like that. Like, basically, it can be used for whatever you want. But a lot of farmers like these over things like a Polaris Ranger and mules and all that sort of stuff, so it's a nice alternative. So we make a few of these conversions, done a couple in the past, and this will be the one that we're going to do now. I figured I'd bring you along for the ride so you can see what's involved in it. On the front here, what we've done to start with is we've got a brand new 2-inch lift kit, new springs, new shocks. It has been undersealed and everything in the arch as we go. There is a couple of little bits of welding that need doing just in this corner around the headlight. That's why we've left it not undersealed and bare. We're going to cut out where we need to and get that welded up, get a nice bit of sheet steel in there, get that repaired. The arch is cut with, obviously cut with an angle grinder, everything out. Then we put these on, little templates, and then what I'll do is a fiberglass smoothed body line. So we'll come from this body line here and we'll smooth it into here. So from this one, smooth down, lose all of these rivets, all these tech screws, so that it doesn't look tacky. And that way you get a nice clean finish on these arches. Now for the rear, obviously those arches are useless to us because we're going to cut it in half. We're going to cut it in half just in front of this window, maybe a little bit further forward. We cut it in half here, and then we cut the back end off somewhere around here, and then we move this part all the way forward and re-weld it here to give us a nice factory sort of corner on the top there. It'll have that nice bend in and around. It keeps a rear window, which is nice, and it'll then be a little single cab 2-seater. Well, they're just a great little weapon. If anyone's ever had Jimnys, then they know off-road they're very capable because they're very, very lightweight. Now, this is a prime example of a Jimny to do this conversion to. You can see the rust is already well and truly set into this vehicle. The same in both corners. So, doing it to something like this is less sacrilegious than doing it to one that's fully working. There is a little bit of welding and stuff involved that will need to be done. So the likes of, I don't know if we can pick that up, you can see the spring mount there. That has gone, that's failed. So we'll obviously, once the body's off, put a new top in. We'll put a new top in and then weld all that up. Not a problem, nice and easy. Now, that is the basis of the modifications. It's going to be a 2-inch lift, 31-inch tyres, wider arches on the front, tray back on the back, and then it will be fully Raptor coated. So there's plenty to see. This is why this is a prime candidate for what I'm about to do. So the body itself is rotten, all the way from the middle backwards is rotten, around the front headlights as well is rotten. So, but the chassis itself is okay. So there's probably a couple of little patches that need doing, but the chassis itself is relatively okay. And what we're going to do is cut on that body line there, follow it down, all the way down, and then we're going to mirror that cut just there so that we can join this piece to the front here. We'll obviously cut straight along the back, take this middle section, pull it out, scrap it because it is knackered, move the filler to somewhere, probably going to be living on the tray, and then yeah, get the welder out. We have successfully chopped off the rear end, and we can see there is quite a lot of rot. So what we're going to do is try and keep this this door hinge mainly just for mounting, so that we can get this mounted flush here. If not, then we'll just make a little bracket and it'll be fine to put the door back on. It's just to hold it in place whilst we weld the seam of what was the rear door. So it would make it easier if we can keep that, but it's not an issue if not. You can see, obviously, it's where the body had completely rotten. It's all the way through, absolutely knackered. So we'll be cutting off these body mounts. They're going to be completely irrelevant. Making new new body mounts for the tray to sit on. Same with all of in here. Cut this one off. But this is the progress so far. You can see where we've done the inside rough mark now for the interior trim, and then we'll go through and try and keep that roof structure there, because that's a good thicker bit of steel to weld to for that extra part of the back. So I'd like to keep that part if possible. If not, we'll put a support brace in there and some tubing anyway. But this is the process.
Okay, let's go. Jump!
Job on today's list. Obviously, this has quite a lot of rust. Most of this is surface. Let me get my tappy stick. Most of this, these mounts are obviously dead on the side here, but the actual chassis itself, all the structure is all good. Like this obviously was knackered, but the actual chassis, both sides, is all good. So it's just a case of cutting out what is rust, welding in some new plate. We're going to make some new mounts for both sides, for the shock turrets, for the spring turrets, sorry, and then mount on the lift kit. Obviously we're going to wire wheel it all, blah blah blah, make it all pretty, but structurally it's okay. It just needs two new spring towers where they rotted off, which is pretty common on these, and then the rear end will be ready for the conversion. So initial hopes weren't, while they were ambitious, definitely ambitious. Let me show you. So on this side we tapped a little bit more and found a little hole that ended up being a big hole. So then we did the same thing this side, and I've just cut it out. So this is all good metal, but I'll show you where I made a little teeny tiny hole. Made a little hole there. You can see obviously this is where the rust really get into. The rest of this is okay. This isn't actually that bad. It's good strong metal still, whereas this side's gone really thin. So cut it out. It's always the best way. Same thing on the rears here, on the rear ends. Just where on these mounts they gather mud right in this corner and they just rot right on the corner there. So we've cut them out on both sides, and we're going to rust treat in the chassis here. Get something in there, rust treat that just to prevent anything further, and obviously weld in some new plates, underseal it all, and it'll be good to go for another few years at least. But progress is happening. But there is a big hole there now, so let's see what we can do, shall we? Right folks, that is a wrap for today. So made a good little bit of progress. There might be a little bit of a stall on the next one whilst we get some other projects done, but let's show you what we got done so far. So obviously, where we said before, we've got the chop done, and the main parts of the structure is starting to be repaired. We've got this one plate welded in down here, other plates to go in there and in there. You can see that we've rust treated this half of this bar. This is the difference there, and the same opposite this side, we've rust treated this half of this bar, and this is just a converter that goes onto the bare metal to keep it from rusting from within, and we'll get the underseal and everything over the top of that. Now over here we've got some more plates here ready to go. These are all cut ready to replace each piece, and then once obviously they're ready, once we're ready for the next part, we'll get them all welded straight in. Once that's done, we'll be able to get the back on, the actual piece on the back here, which is stored elsewhere, and then once that piece is all welded on, we can start fabricating the actual tray. The pickup itself the pickup bed itself is probably going to come about somewhere 16, about 125mm past the end of the chassis. I just need to look at legalities. So once we know exactly how far past we can go, we'll make it as big as possible, and this will be a cool little truck to hit the trails. As always folks, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for next time. Please like, comment, subscribe if you can. Stay tuned, see how we get on with this one.